Let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 here of Shopify versus Team Falcons. As both teams are smoked out, the early boots pick up, then drop just to get that ward placed ASAP.
I find it pretty interesting. Falcons does that extremely consistently. But
oh, free money for Pakaz there. He just gets his Devour going ASAP. That's kind of cool. Typically, you don't really see Dooms go Devour level 1 all that often, depending on the matchups. Like Infernal Blade sometimes is really good.
Doom, man. Any extra GPM.
Yeah, it's like sometimes the Infernal Blade is good or the Scorched Earth is good, but you're against a carry Lycan. You have summons in the lane that you can just eat now. So why not? And he's already going to get the bonus gold before the lanes even start, so he's happy. He's chilling.
I gambled.
Yeah, I think it's a fun idea. I'm up for it. It will mean their lane's a little bit weaker, but you're also laning into the Lycan, who is not that strong of a laner with Alpha Wolves anyways. So I feel like top is just a farm fest. You know, both of them are like, yeah, I'm totally, I hit my Midas timing. I'm good to go.
Ooh, Hellscream actually does manage to get the rune bottom. So one thing I was going to mention earlier about like what we've seen as counters to Lycan's Alpha Wolves from the support position a lot of times has been things like Glimmer Cape, but you're against a bounty hunter, right? And so if Crit is the one scouting them out playing with the Wolves, you don't have the safety of Glimmer Cape anymore. So it does kind of limit your options as a support here in terms of how you can itemize to deal with them. We may see Midas, which is something that some people have gone for. We may see just Ghost Scepters, but we won't know quite yet.
Do you think Alpha Wolves are scariest when you have to deal with them? Like you're split up. Oh, Monkey King, your courier is not far enough under the tower. Crit just snipes that at the edge of the tower.
Ooh, that hurts.
Alpha Wolves are the most annoying when you're like playing across the map and you can just be, the support has to deal with it on their own. I do think a bounty hunter draft does want to play together a bit more. So it might help them deal with these Alpha Wolves so they're not just being killed off. And that way you can maybe delay the Ghost Scepters if you want to in favor of, you know, these momentum items, the buffs to help you out.
I am going to be keeping my eyes on this offlane because I really don't feel like Amara is going to have the best time. Zeus is such a great hero at harassing nowadays. He's against double melee. They're actually going to go in aggressive. They get the level 2 from Yamato, and there it is. First blood into the hands of the Monkey King. And this lane's pushing, so they will have to freeze this outside the tower. But they might be able to just shove this wave in.
He's back in time. So at least he doesn't miss too much out of all this. They'll eventually hit their level 2s. I do expect Shopify to have a good time down here. I don't know if I expected a kill so early. Top, maybe going for a kill of their own. Snake King hits a couple power cogs. Should be okay under his tower, but that's a lot of damage. He's got like
the wolves
5
help
tangos.
out a lot. Yeah, when Hellstream gets that like battery assault and you just run the wolves in there, it really does kind of save the Crystal Maiden. But they do have a lot of regen here on Hellscream, so he's wanting to just get aggressive again. And now they're going to find Crit in the bottom lane. The lightning bolt there will reveal him. He drops a ward up on the high ground, or a sentry on the high ground. Doesn't really get anything out of it. So that's 2 kills in this bottom lane. It's going quite well here for Shopify, just free farming here on this Monkey King.
Does shove in the lane, I guess, so at least it'll bounce back again for Amar soon, but this is a little bit of the question mark, I feel, when you have these bounties and you want a strong start, you want to be able to rotate. It's like, okay, bottom lane's not going great, maybe mid. This is a bristleback mid. It can be good, right? It's a little out there, but it can be good. I don't know if it's the easiest to set up these early game kills though, right? I feel like this bristle mid wants to farm up to a certain point. So I'm gonna assume Falcons is going for a little bit of a later timing. Otherwise, you would put, I feel, the Tiny in the mid lane to get the faster Blink Dagger, get things going. It's literally just a slower start in the off lane, but the scaling might be better. So maybe not the early timing I would expect from a bounty, more mid-game with the Alpha Wolves.
Hey, Malrine is crushing this mid lane. Playing very well. Forcing a lot of regen out of Yopaj, and okay, that's a cheeky play there. Steals the water rune, kicks the Bristol away. Crit is here on the high ground, though, just to annoy him a little bit. But it does deny the water rune to Malrine, and Yopaj being at such a regen disadvantage so far in this lane. This will help out a little bit.
This was over before it started.
Do you have a creep ability? No, not yet, actually. He's just been content to eat wolves and whatever creeps show up in the lane.
Oh, that is not what you wanted. Not respecting the amount of damage coming out from those bristleback quills. Level 3 quills now as he hits level 5. And Yopaj just gets completely blasted there.
I guess, to be fair, how often do you have to practice this lane matchup, Earth Spirit versus a Bristleback mid? You're probably usually the one over-leveled compared to the Bristleback.
Really good rotation from Crit there. Yeah, that was a sick bait. They were kind of like setting up for a potential run at Snake King, and Crit was just sitting there invis on the side, but Skem is now making his rotation here, as well as the Monkey King, and Skitter not likely making it out of this one. Yep. Boundless Strike to secure the kill, and he'll just go right back to his lane.
Surprise early rotation from Yamato. You usually see these kind of movements closer to like level 6, where you can maybe take the tower off of that. But this time, early with the catapult. Maybe some early tower pressure is the plan. And Tiny's not really a hero who can punish you that much for this while you're gone. He really doesn't have the greatest wave clear. But he is building up a big creep wave of his own with the catapult, so Shopify will have to get down there.
This is the Magnetize here. Hellscream's going to get on top of Snake King, but they need to make some space to get Malrine away from him. The Boundless Strike connects. They get him. 2 heroes dead, but Yopaj falling once more to this Bristleback. They do manage to get a fresh D ward in the process. So overall, a win there for Shopify, and there will be an Amplify damage rune bottom. Some space and recovery for Amar, though. He went from 6th in the CS charts to 1st. He has been left alone here for a little bit.
Yamato, though, goes around the map, gets several kills, now makes his way bottom just in time for a huge creep wave.
Yeah.
He's going to be very farmed to start. Already about 4,000 net worth at... We're not even at 7 minutes yet. That is really good. It's very scary when we look at the fact that Falcons has 3 melee cores and actually 4 melee heroes in total. And Crystal Maiden's so slow, short range. Practically a honorary melee hero as well.
He has Treads, Orb of Corrosion already done, and now is going towards the Diffusal. So he's playing a very aggressive Monkey King here. And like you said, he's into a bunch of melee heroes. That Orb of Corrosion and that Diffusal will be so value this game. Amar trying to get back towards his tower. The toss away will help out as they TP in the Crystal Maiden. Who got that Wisdom rune? I'm assuming
Snake King and
Snake King got it. Okay.
So 1-on-1 for each.
So here's the big thing to watch out for is Yopaj with this Amplify damage rune. As soon as that Magnetize is off cooldown, he's going to want to use it. It is really strong to be able to get a multi-hero Magnetize with that Amplify damage, and it looks like they're all coming top. The rotations are there. Hellscream will find this courier, and they will sniff out the defense coming from Shopify and back away on Falcons, it seems.
It looks like 8-minute power got an observer ward out of that.
Oh, The roll in, amplify damage, magnetize, immediately drop. There's a shield rune as well for Yopaj. He's just going to keep it ticking down. They do manage to get themselves a quick kill here onto the bounty, the Crystal Maiden in exchange. The magnetize actually expiring here. Kind of surprising they would back. Oh, he had 1 stone left. Never mind, that's why.
Yeah, not enough to play more aggressive. Otherwise, that would be the perfect time. Amplify damage and a shield rune. That is a very scary Earth Spirit to deal with. So pretty fortunate for Falcons that he doesn't have enough stone remnants to play more aggressive around that.
I think he like double dropped.
Maiden kill though, at least.
Yeah, I feel like he might have double dropped a remnant at the very beginning of the magnetize, which is maybe why he didn't have enough remnants. But either way, he gets the shield rune. This will protect him for a while here in the mid lane. And top side there, looking for this Lycan. And it looks like they may have found him. Yeah, nice 4-hero rotation. Scouting out with the Monkey King here once again. He doesn't even have ult, right? On this Lycan.
The Lycan? No, not yet. He's 5 3/4. Pretty close. By comparison, Yamato is
almost level 8. Ooh, nice tower deny.
How much damage do the wolves even have right now? 38.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mid lane, they've got the Doom. They're going to throw it immediately onto this Bristleback. They just need to get a little bit more damage out. And yeah, with that magnetize, should be more than enough. Even the Thunder God's Wrath, no escapes for you, Malrine. And this should open up the mid tower with no Bristleback to defend. Fortification here to delay it, but I don't know how you mount the defense here. All 5 members of Shopify in the mid lane.
There's no defending this. This is a very dead tower.
And they actually get the 10-minute rune as well there. So Yopaj has gotten every power rune. Amplify damage, shield rune, now arcane.
Big stacks being cleared up by Malrine. He is working on the Ags. So that's what Falcons has to play for now. They just have to slow things down. You need Aghanims on Bristleback. The Lycan is not really so much about the items, so much as hitting like level 9 and level 11. That's when the wolves start to get a lot stronger. Currently at level 7, so still a while to go there. And the Tiny went Echo Saber, which is almost done. Oh, actually, he could buy more components. He's not, so maybe he has decided, like, I need this Blink Dagger as soon as I can.
Ooh, nice toss into the Crystal Maiden. The roll comes out just in time, though. Gives him the distance he needs to back away, but he responds with an Arcane Rune, and Skem is here, just dumping the damage here into this Crystal Maiden. They will turn back around the roll and will be able to catch the Crystal Maiden in a 1-for-1 trade. Magnetize not yet off cooldown, but Amar stuck inside the cogs, surrounded by the side of Shopify. And another kill here, potentially. Blade Mail will find at least the return. Yamato actually finding a solo kill on the backside for crit. So a 3-for-2 as Malrine goes bottom.
At least they got a track kill on the Zeus, and then I guess the clock. So like a 3-for-2. All things considered, I guess that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty even, actually, because it's the 2 track kills.
Yeah, and it actually brought more heroes for Shopify up here. Still, I don't think Shopify minds too much the fact that their cores get to be so involved in these kills.
So the Amar Tiny living so long there. They are smoked up on Shopify.
There.
Hoping to find somebody. They, I guess, will try and go for the freebie maybe against Crystal Maiden. They have that good ward scouting heroes out. Instead, it's just going to be a quick Wukong command with a Diffusal and Snake King hobbling back towards his tower. No chance of escape. Crit.
He's some pings mid. He does have Doom available again.
Hookshot comes in. They didn't see the Doom. You're right. They saw the clockwork, but like, it's just a clockwork, surely, right? Roll in from Yopaj, magnetize onto 3. The Thunder God's Wrath now opening up a potential follow-up here to this Bristleback. And need just a little bit more damage, but Malrine will make his way back to the base. Dust connects from Pakaz, but no real follow-up here. Crit got a little bit too far away.
Still another very clean kill. You get the tiny, use your doom. The spells are being used off cooldown for the most part. Pretty efficient play from Shopify. The lead is not massive though, like a 2k lead. Part of this is the bounty hunter track helping to add some extra value. Some of this is just Falcons always being known as a team that gets a ton out of the map as much as possible. And looks like they're getting a monkey.
No way. He gets the kill with Dust. All right.
Okay.
You know,
I can't believe he got that kill first.
it's still a really rough death for the Monkey King being caught out here in the bottom lane, but the fact that he does get a solo kill is pretty wild. But big win there for Falcons. It's a track kill onto the most farmed hero, or previously most farmed hero.
That was a 7 kill streak on the Monkey King as well, so very worthwhile.
They see the TP coming in from Snake King. He's just not looking good for that. Clockwork dies to Alpha Wolves, 100-0. Avalanche toss from Amar. Needs to be a little bit careful. Skem as well as Yopaj are nearby, and now in comes Yamato. Does have that defusal, the Wukong's command, and no more mana here for the Tiny. Well, nice stick, but not enough. All right, is he level 11 on the Lycan? I feel like he has to be if he just killed the clock.
10.
No, he's only level 10.
10 and a half. But that's even the level 5 Alpha Wolves are starting to get pretty strong. So one more level to go. This is, I think, more of the timing that they're going for now. The blink on the Tiny is done. He stopped buying the Echo Saber to get this blink at this moment.
I think Crit assumed they had Dust, and they didn't. So he like turned around and was like, oh, I'm just going to throw some spells, but it didn't really be necessary. Nice Wukong's command. Big Doom here as well. Or not Wukong's, Magnetize plus the Doom onto this Bristleback. It should be enough to finish him. The Avatos coming in here from the Tiny, doing some work. Amar's actually going to get a kill there onto this Doom. And Malrine lives, just barely.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yamato almost died too, but manages to get the Boundless Strike just in time to get a full heal there. So that's Falcons getting into Alpha Wolves territory, right? That is fully online now. He hasn't been fully involved yet, but as we see these Alpha Wolves running down the Zeus, right, this is just going to start happening more and more.
Have a toss from Amar into the Bristleback. They're trying to just burst down the Earth Spirit, and they will have him distracted by the Wolves, legitimately. And now Skem stuck around maybe a little bit too long. One more root, and he's dead. There it is.
Dead.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's balanced.
Boundless Strike, Wukong's command. We've seen this one before. Love farming on the corner of the map and diving a tier 2 mid and killing a hero with a summon.
It's a lot funnier to watch when it's not you in the game, I gotta say.
Yeah, the thing is like, there is no counter to this at all outside of like being farmed as a support, so it's kind of rough. Now Yamato bottom lane here, he will get his Jingle, but he did pop that Boundless Strike, and the Wolves are just killing him. They get another kill here onto this Monkey King, and suddenly Shopify, their entire lead is gone.
Yeah, I didn't see the initial, well, hold that thought. Pakaz with his Glimmer Cape, looking for a sneaky Doom. It's not up yet, actually. 10 more seconds.
They are bringing the numbers, though. They need to be careful. Malrine has so much damage of his own. There's going to be the Magnetize, the hook shot in. Hellscream's got him. Pakaz, though, just needs to get away from Crit. Will try and turn back the other way as Skitter. He's popped that ult, trying to chase him down. Pakaz, he's going to live. 40 HP. Well, at least for now. Unless he can get the TP. Skem, is he going to make it? The Avalanche not in time. The Zeus just chewed through by this Lycan, and now we'll grab the Earth Spirit as well. A 2 for 3, a big win for Falcons here once again, and Skitter has overtaken everybody.
Shopify ran into Bristleback just a few seconds sooner than they were expecting because Doom was not actually up. So although they do get the kill, he's able to return so much damage back that his team makes it back in. Gets a bunch of return kills. Doom almost dying as well, barely kept alive by the Glimmer Cape. That's kind of a serious one.
It's awkward. Hopefully nothing serious though. We'll see. Yeah, it's one of those things like watching a Lycan farm on the corner of the map and then suddenly just get like 700 gold for killing a hero. Technically, like when it's zero commitment from him, is wild. Like this, and he's done it multiple times. And now he's just level 13. He's almost got his harpoon. The times we live in for Dota.
The idea is that I do think there's a curve, right? Where Lycan starts off fairly weak with this Alpha Wolves build. He becomes really, really strong, arguably broken. And then as the game goes later and later, it starts to drop off again because the summons no longer do any scaling. At some point, it becomes easy enough to kill them. But the idea is, while they are in this really strong state, you cement your lead so that you never reach that end point where you drop off again. I wasn't sure how that would connect with the bounty hunter. Like in the draft, I was saying, okay, I'm thinking of a playmaker, something early paced, and they get the Lycan. We do see where they struggle, right? Where I'd say the first 14-ish minutes, it was Shopify taking control. The lanes were going well. They were moving around the map. But Falcons being Falcons maintain their farm pretty well and eventually hit this timing where you have the level 10, level 11 on the Lycan, the Blink on the Tiny, the Ags on the Bristleback, and I expect them to play really fast now while they are in this peak strength of the Alpha Wolves, get a bunch of track kills, cement that lead, and try to close out the game before you have to get to the point where Alpha Wolves starts to drop off.
Yeah, and so thinking about it that way, it kind of begs the question of the Monkey King itemization-wise. Would you rather have something that is more farm-oriented, or is the idea here you need to be able to fight them while Falcons feel like they are the stronger team, and then your hero eventually just outscales as well? Because we're seeing like what is typically like the mid Monkey King build, right? Which is this Diffusal and the Mage Slayer.
I liked the idea when I saw it originally, and I saw them building up a lead. I thought it looked good.
Those 2 deaths hurt a lot though. Like in the bottom lane, those really hurt him. If they had taken the tier 1 tower, maybe those deaths like don't happen, because it would have been more difficult for them to rotate. But
like if Falcons wasn't so good at maximizing map farm, I think we would see Shopify have, you know, more like a 5K lead in the early game against most other teams. But Falcons really kept it close enough that they had enough strength to get return kills to stay relevant and reach this point where, you know, now we're at an even game, I'm going to say. But it feels like Falcons is in control right now. Yeah.
I mean, we have pretty much identical net worths on each role. The only real difference is this Aegis now on the Bristleback. But you are right. It does feel like Falcons are the stronger team right now. We say that, and they're going for a wraparound here on Shopify, seeing if they can find someone. It's going to be the Thunder God's Wrath to scout this one out. Yopaj doesn't connect on the Wukong, or on that Magnetize. He's really trying to find this Tiny, and they just lose their Doom at the start of the fight. They're going to grab crit. Boundless Strike hits Malrine, but again, he's got that Aegis Skitter. It gets outside of that Wukong's command ring, and Yopaj on the backside. Really nice silence. The Magnetize taken down too, but Malrine continues to push it up here on this Bristleback. He wants to burn the Aegis. He's going to, but he gets the kill in the process. Now, can Yopaj escape is the question. I don't know. He has no more stones, so Snake King will live. And it's a 4-for-1. A very costly fight here from Shopify.
Amar's fast reaction time saved them there. The fact that he was able to blink away just as the Zeus ult was thrown to try to cancel that very blink. Oh, and they one more kill before they go.
Oh my gosh, he doesn't make it. The Wolves were scouting him out. They actually broke his Simian stride with like 1 auto attack, and he couldn't actually get away. But so this just felt so forced.
Yeah, this is post Tiny blink out. So you see how far they chase trying to find him. They land the Doom. Sure, he can't do anything. He's out of the fight. You're all chasing so far. Even Yopaj rolls after it. And that means the backline, sure, they find the kill onto the bounty. That's a big commitment for just the bounty hunter, you know? And now Tiny comes back in. He's like, yeah, I'm no longer doomed. I still got over half my health. I can avalanche toss the squishy supports, pick up some easy kills. And Lycan, who ulted at the start of that, he's just been running around chasing with the wolves. And then he's finally like, yeah, I can finally hit people with my wolves. I'm ready to get kills.
You had to swap the alt cast there on that Boundless Strike to try and get away, and unfortunately didn't happen in time. They will find themselves a kill onto Malrine, though. He gets kicked back into the danger zone as now they look for more. Skitter's gonna pop the ult, maybe get aggressive. They actually chop the tree.
Tree break
of the Monkey King, and he's dead on the backside. Wukong's not available now. All right, Yopaj, what are you gonna do? Can he get away? He's gonna kick, roll. It's enough maybe to get the distance. A Doom comes out from Pakaz, Thunder God's Wrath into the Infernal Blade. It should be enough here to find the kill with that Shiva's Guard, absolutely. But Skitter is still so damn strong. His ult is expired though, so he can't be kited around. They will be able to roll away. The Glimmer Cape buying him a little bit of time. He looks for Pakaz, doesn't get it, and gets punished instead. Pakaz though, gotta be careful of the wolves. The roll. Is it enough to get him away? It will. Pakaz will live.
Dude, this insane movement speed from Doom. He has the Sanjin Yasha phase boots, drums, and he's actually still holding onto the Faded Brooch. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it means he is so fast to actually outrun the wolves and get out alive. Let's see this fast it goes to. I want to take a moment while we have some downtime here. We got 4 Glimmer Capes right now. Yeah, 4 Glimmer Capes and a pipe done for crit. So 3 Glimmer Capes in the pipe onto Falcons. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Glimmer Cape from Snake King at some point, but they might decide 3 is enough. This is the recent trend with the Glimmer Cape being realized how useful it is. And on the enemy team, we see, right, Magnetize, all of his spells really, Zeus. Those 2 alone kind of warrant it, but there's a good amount of magic from like Clockwork and Doom as well. And so the way these Glimmer Capes synergize just makes them such a good early fighting item, which is exactly the style Falcons wants to go for. They don't want to wait for BKBs and bigger items. They're like, yeah, 2,000 gold, easy with the track. Like, let's just keep going nonstop, fight, fight, fight. And we can use the Glimmers on ourselves, on each other. The passive magic resistance makes all the barriers even better. So that's kind of why some of these fights are taking a long time, even though we have such high damage heroes like Zeus. It's just because they have so much effective health versus this magic damage.
It's funny seeing the Crimson Guard picked up on Pakaz here as a potential answer to the Lycan, I suppose, right? Like the wolves being able to just kill supports. You do have the Ghost Scepter finished up on Zeus, so it's a little bit more difficult for him to find the kill, but they are smoked up. Gonna see who they find here, and it will be Amar's. Flare comes out, hookshot off the mark from Hellscream. That's not what you wanted. The roll will connect, though. That Vessel burning him down. He's got no BKB to get out of this, and with Pakaz showing up, they will abandon the Tiny. Now, Yamato, he's looking aggressive here. Crit. He's going to lose his courier. He knows he actually collides with him. He pops the dust. Heads up play here from Yamato. Looking to just get himself a freebie. That is real attention to detail.
Yeah, that's really nice. I also saw a scan, so I'm not sure if he like bumped, scan to confirm, or like scan to check and then happened to bump. So he's like, oh, he's definitely right here. I don't know what order that happened in, but really nice plays to pick up an extra kill. Roche is not quite up yet. There's still another minute before it could start to spawn. Otherwise, I was gonna say they're in kind of a good spot to go set up for it. I mean, you could, right? Go place your wards ahead of time. Now we got a close one here. This one's exciting.
Yeah. The gold lead is somewhat insignificant at this point. Now that Ghost Scepter is gonna buy Zeus some time, but no real escape. They will get ran down here now. The question is, who's going to take the fight? The Magnetize is out onto 4. The BKB out from Malrine will make this really difficult. A nice Wukong's command is going to find Snaking. The Orchid doing a lot of work, but he needs to be careful. Amar goes in, tries to toss him outside of the ring. Yamato needs some help and fast. He's not going to get it. Burned down by the Wolves as well as the Quills. 4 dead on Shopify. No real way for them to... They just didn't have an avenue to get in with the Doom, it looked like.
Yeah, perhaps I just jinxed the game right there. But the Doom is very important to prevent just the spells from I'd say either the Bristleback or the Tiny. Like, you need to take one out of the fight and then have the Magnetize going the whole time and then slowly get the damage out from like Zeus and Monkey King. Otherwise, I think without that Doom, Falcons does win over time. With the Alpha Wolves constantly chasing you, the Malrine Bristleback stacks building up, Tiny being able to keep going in and out of the fight with the Avalanche tosses. You have to take one of those out of the equation. What was this Roche spawn? About a minute more to go.
All right, I mean, they found Malrine here. I don't know if you have the damage to secure the kill, but he is kind of stuck in a rough spot. They need to help, and there it is. The rest of Shopify will surround him. That is a huge find from Hellscream.
Good Zeus ult. Just to confirm, they wanted to make sure they weren't overcommitting on a Bristleback, and then the rest of the team wraps on them, but they saw everyone else was further away, so they could commit that hard. It does mean they should be able to move up here. Roche will spawn before Bristle's up again.
Magnetize is out. You could get the Doom off. The question is, who do you get caught by the Avalanche? The Doom comes out way too late. You've already lost your Earth Spirit. That is not what you wanted. And now Pakaz got to find his way out of this one. I don't know. It's going to be a lot more difficult. He does have this ice armor. He's fairly tanky, but that Doom has now already expired on the Tiny. Yamato will just TP home. Very close, though. Almost breaks it. Hellscream not going to be as lucky. Shopify could not make up their mind here, it seems. Just similar to that other fight.
I think a moment of, I don't know, indecision or miscommunication, but some of Shopify had gone back while some moved forward, like Yopaj and Pakaz moved up, while like Skem had to go back for mana. So they were actually a bit scattered. And so when Yopaj gets found and the Doom comes out, that's it. The rest of the team wasn't even close enough to do anything else after that. So despite it being technically 5-on-4, it really ended up being like a 4-on-2 in the favor of Falcons there, which allows them to get the kills and now actually even secure Roche. So that looked like a window for Shopify to start reclaiming some gold lead, but actually just ends up continuing to go Falcons' way.
Yeah. Not only did they get the Roche on, they managed to recover their own Wisdom Rune as well. We are seeing a Disperser come out from Yamato. Now, I mean, we haven't... Are there any BKBs on Shopify? I don't think there is.
I saw like Shiva's. We only do Glimmers.
Yeah, it's like we have like Shiva's Blade Mail on your Earth Spirit. Yamato has opted for a Disperser. Like, no one's going BKB this game at all.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing you would need BKB against Falcons for is the Tiny Crystal Maiden to some extent, but I don't think she's as big of a concern.
Speaking of Crystal Maiden, gets caught here. Boundless Strike comes through, and that'll be a nice kill. But the question is, can you actually stand your ground? There's going to be the Wukong's pulls in from Skidder. He's doing so much damage with the Wolves here as well, but the heals from Yamato as well as the Crimson Guard reducing a lot of damage. Malrine, he's in pretty deep, but he's got that Aegis. He's going to be happy to commit it if he needs to, but it looks like he might survive anyway. And now Yopaj in some trouble somehow getting the roll out, but it's a slaughter here. Hellscream flying through the skies, somehow TP's out. Oh, man. Did he just didn't have mana for Doom, I guess.
Think so. I mean, the Monkey King lived for so long. He had so many like barriers being thrown on him, but unfortunately, it's not very easy to beat a Bristleback in a long fight. Those usually actually favor Bristle more than Monkey King, especially when you factor in how much farm each hero has, right? There's like 4,000 more net worth on Malrine, practically an extra item he has over that Monkey King. If you swap that, maybe Monkey King does end up with the kill there.
Trying to find some way to defend their high ground here from these wolves, from this catapult. Not looking good. The tower is taking a beating. Dude, that evasion lasts legitimately like 4 seconds longer than I feel like it should last.
The hightail?
Yeah, I feel like it's actually the same duration as a Wind Ranger's wind run on like half the cooldown.
Yeah, that stuff's whack. Should lower it. I don't even think it's the main issue with Alpha Wolves though.
No, it's not.
It's
I mean,
good,
it's
but
yeah, you just can't deal with them in any like you just walked them into the high ground and they just tanked a tower, a creep wave, and 3 heroes for 7 seconds.
Ooh, little bit of a slip up on the toss back. That might be a Doom kill to start off this high ground siege. But you still have 2 minutes on the Aegis, so they're just going to sit behind Malrine. Kind of see why the Glimmer Cape is necessary, how much damage the support Zeus is doing to Malrine.
Yeah, it unironically, that and Infernal Blade are like your 2 biggest damage sources into this Bristleback at the moment, and we'll see if they can keep it going. They are going to try and back away here, most likely. Ooh, that's an aggressive 4-staff in. Maybe looking for a Doom target. Bound the Strike, roll in from Yopaj. They can kick him back onto the high ground. Wukong's as well as Doom will be available. You've got to stun him immediately. Do they get the connection? They do. Bristleback goes down. A good find here from Shopify, but they're all kind of low. They committed a lot here, and those quills did a ton of damage. Bound the Strike out here from Yamato. Does connect, but in comes Skitter here on the Lycan. Looking to find the kill here onto the Doom. Nice kick up onto the high ground from Yopaj. Will get them out, and now Monkey King can continue the chase. The dust here sees Amar. The Zeus will connect. Bound the Strike. 2 shots the Crystal Maiden. Crit in trouble as well. Amar stuck inside the cogs. Who will get out? Looks like it's just going to be that bounty. A really nice hold here from Shopify.
There was an aggressive 4-staff on the Doom trying to push him out of position. I have to imagine like a toss combo was planned for that as well, but it ends up backfiring. This is a pretty tanky Doom under his tier 3. He's got Cloak of Flames, the Crimson Guard, a Glimmer, Phase Boots, Assault Cuirass, and he even has like status resistance from SNY. So he's not an easy target to kill unless you isolate him. And you end up overcommitting onto that.
Dude, that Crystal Maiden took 1,100 damage from Bound the Strike.
That's a lot of damage.
It wasn't even Jingu either. That was just a flat Bound the Strike for 1,100 damage. He has Nemesis, so it just bonked her. That's pretty good. Ooh, Shield Rune for Yopaj. That's a pretty big pickup. Especially with how much tankier he's gotten. Now has the BKB, even getting some armor in his neutral item. That is the one thing that's going to be a big difference here for Shopify. We're actually seeing it make a difference in the last fight. How much more armor they're picking up in their itemization. And they're looking for Malrine here in the mid lane. They pull back. He immediately pops the BKB. We'll be able to roll away for now, but Doom's been caught. The question is, do you want to go in? No, he's going to get caught here from Skitter, the Crimson Guard, as well as that Disperser actually bailing him out for now. They do get a nice Avatos here onto Hellscream, but both teams kind of going back and forth a little bit, looking for the perfect initiation, but no one's really finding it. In comes Tiny, gets caught. Silence will pull him back. Both teams, a little bit game of a cat and mouse here. The Doom is so tanky, dude. You were right.
You can't really go for him. He also has ice armor, right? I think you mentioned that earlier. I forgot to include that in the list of reasons this guy is insanely tanked. 75% physical damage reduction. That doesn't even take into account the damage block from the Crimson Guard. And
yeah,
this is a little bit of
really
a
smart
downside.
itemization.
Yeah, when you stack your damage types, right? Bristle, Lycan. I'm willing to throw Tiny and hybrid damage, but it is a lot of physical damage, and so you're able to just buy all these armor items and protect yourself versus pretty much every core hero on Falcons.
We'll see if they can keep this going. For now, they're going to find Yopaj bottom. He's forced to BKB and roll away just from the rolls as he sees the TPs coming in. So I think that's his first BKB.
Attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Arcane Rune will get scouted top, as well as a handful of bounties here on the bottom side. That's, call that the value meal.
Yum.
That's a lot of gold, Jesus.
They call it the value meal. You just said it, man.
That's true. It's more value than I thought. Nullifier done here.
I just processed what I just said. Dang, that's a lot of gold.
Ooh, hook shot in. They found him again. No BKB. This time he gets it off, though. Never mind. He's just going to walk away. That Doom not going to be super useful. The Lycan just solos the Monkey King. This fight's over for Shopify. They need to hightail it out of here, but completely caught off guard. Yopaj will be next. Skem likely to follow. This is a disaster. What happened to the Monkey King? Nullifier, I think.
Yeah, he's got a very aggressive build and a Nemesis curse. So if you just focus him, he's actually not that tanky. You need to survive 4 hits to get the Jingu. And in that time, Lycan ran in with the Wolves, had the Bloodthorn, the Nullifier, the Harpoon, and just went to town on the Monkey King before he could really react. It's led straight to 2 barracks, maybe even 3. There's the Fortify. Oh, if you get this Doom as well.
That
Holy crap. That
might be game over.
Biggest Bloodthorn proc I've ever seen.
I mean, that's Mega Creeps. It's actually 100% Mega Creeps. They're going to have to, like, fort, but any more kills at this point, which a great toss back there on the Hellstream. He's going to get the Nullifiers thrown onto him, trying his best to make his way back to the base, but no shot at all. Shopify crumbling here at the tail end of this game, and yeah, that's going to be another death to follow it up. They panicked. They straight panicked.
All right. You know, earlier I was saying the dangers of leaning all in on physical damage a bit too much. If it does work, it has insane building damage punish potential that we see here with the Megas off the one fight. They're going to try to defend the very last barracks.
I mean, they're going to go in. Yopaj has to BKB, drops the Magnetize, but they're just going to wait this one out. Wukong's is going to expire. He sees Skitter coming. He's like, I know what happened last time. I cannot let this happen again. Yopaj will make his way into the fountain barely. But there it is. Mega Creep secured. They literally built 20,000 gold in a minute and a half.
It's the dangers of the build Yamato went for. And I can't really fault him for it because he did need to bring a ton of damage for his team. But that one slip up from Shopify that he was a bit on his own. The teammates weren't near enough to use all the auras on him to keep him alive. Yeah, that cost them potentially the whole game. They're gonna fight to the very end, trying to contest this Roche.
Yeah, they were praying they'd make it in time. Absolutely no chance at all.
I think they're gonna try to find anything here, and if it slips up, we'll see the GGs come out.
Yeah, I mean, they get Wolf Bite for Bristleback now, so yeah, good luck. You couldn't kill this guy previously. You needed a few more ways to prevent. Well, the roll in, they're going to see Tiny as well as the Bounty Hunter. Maybe you find the just take what you can get scenario here, and yeah, that will be a kill on the crit. But your tier 4 is about to go down in your base. You have to come back.
Let's start theory crafting here.
Okay.
Kick back.
Yes.
Into Fountain. Always good. Zeus support. Really good at holding Megas, actually. Even has the shard already, so he can actually hold Megas quite easily. Doom's already got the Crimson Guard and a heart, so you can prevent chip damage on your tower and your Ancient. So in terms of holding, you certainly have the potential to do so.
Ooh, nice hook shot away. Wait, what?
Harpoon?
Harpoon brought him like kinda back. That was very strange. He doesn't have detection anymore on Yamato, and now Amar turns it around. Avalanche toss, a lot of damage. Boundless strike, though, to connect. Amar's going to get punished for this one. That being said, Yopaj looking like he's also getting punished on the backside, getting ran down here from Skitter. The roll up to the high ground, though, will get him to safety. Who do you doom here? You're stuck between two menacing wolves. It looks like they will throw it onto Malrine at the end of the day as he's trying to hobble away on the tail end of the BKB. Snake King falling low as well, trying to burn him down. There's going to be another nullifier out. Snake King, 30 health is gonna be enough. That's all he needs, and now Pakaz needs to escape. Okay, never mind, not enough. Skem snipes him with the Aghanim Scepter. Pakaz now in a lot of trouble. The buyback from Amar starting to really matter, as the Doom won't be the only casualty somehow for Shopify, as they do get the, oh, I guess they bought back on Hellscream, so.
Still, the Doom, using Doom on the Bristleback is part of the reason you're able to win that fight. Without Doom, maybe you can just push here to at least take out this tier 4. I guess you're scared because you don't actually know if Doom has buyback. He's actually just short a little bit of gold. But if he buys back and he doesn't have Doom, I don't know if that's as intimidating.
See what they can do here.
I want to play it safe.
Yeah, I think they're very comfortable just kind of looking for potential tossbacks with Amar, and if they get one, then great. If not, the Wolves and Tiny will kill your tower. So, with the tier 4s being taken, here's your Wolf Bite for Amar, and now he gets to work on this throne. It's exposed, no fortification. Yopaj tossed, dying in just the animation. Wukong's command is out. Bloodthorn doing some work here, but they just turn around with these quills, stacks up the damage. There's no way you're killing this Bristleback now. There's the nullifiers out, the Frostbite to hold him in place, and goodbye, Monkey King. There's going to be the GGs, and Falcons will grab game 1 in a... I mean, they felt like they were in the lead for the second half, but...
Don't actually need the mana. So that actually might be a cool way to circumvent like what Invoker usually does to win the lane. And then the fact that you just have more damage lets you get denies. At least for the start, Invoker does scale up in damage pretty quickly as the universal hero.
Well, what did you expect?
All right, well, we'll see what happens as we jump into game number 2 here of Falcons versus Shopify. Malori's going to have 70 damage level 1 in the river. That is pretty wild to think about it. Now, Invoker, the highest damage gain per level of any hero in Dota, always goes for this like double Wraithband tread. So it won't take long before Yopaj passes the Slardar in the damage thresholds. We'll see how well Malrine can kind of weather the storm. Like once we get to like level 2, 3, 4, 5, stuff like that, I feel like the Invoker should start pulling away. But if he can do fairly well on those first couple of waves, I think Malrine should be okay, at least holding the lane down for now. Offlane Magnus, pretty standard pick we see nowadays. The Max Shockwave allows him to CS fairly well, but Morphling, not a really good matchup for the Mag. He should have a pretty free lane there, I think.
The battle begins.
For the rune, Yamato's going to grab it. Nice Thunderbolt there from Skem to open that one up. So it will be 3 runes for Shopify to start this one out.
You won't escape. Not what you expected?
I think you'll get what you need from this offlane for Falcons. I do think Ricky can just do a lot of different annoying things that Zeus is not the greatest at stopping, creep dragging, things like that. He likes to just bully people in the lane. And Amar is pretty tanky. Like once you get to Skewer, I think it's pretty hard to die. Though I guess a cool lightning bolt like timing could interrupt that.
Interesting idea bottom here. They're just going to drop the cogs, go Howl level 1, knowing that you're against the Enchantress, and just beat down Skitter, since he has no real way to kind of out-harass them at the moment. Huge creep wave built up here in mid lane. Yopaj is seemingly trying to harass outside of clearing the wave, but Malrine CSing quite well. 6-2.
Yeah, it looks like they both focused on harassing each other a bunch. Very low in the mid lane already.
God, I love the dagger effect on the new Tricks of the Trade. Thank you, Val, for that one. Adding cosmetics to Ricky is like one of the weirdest things because at some point in the game, you just stop seeing them.
You get to see him in your little animated portrait, at least.
Yeah, that's why I have the crimson helmet. It's the only thing that matters. Oh, Skitter getting body blocked up here. Nice micro there from Pakaz. They did drag the wave back, so like you said, they kind of can just do this with the clockwork and do their best to try and avoid playing directly into the Enchantress. It's working.
Yeah, and eventually, like, the start of this lane's pretty annoying for Skitter having to dodge, like, power cogs and stuff. But eventually, you'll be fine as a lifestealer. Crit taking a lot of damage. Actually, Blood Grenade. I don't think it's enough.
It's not enough. Too tanky, but Amar needs to be careful. Does have a shockwave, at least, to try and turn this around, and Crit might have something to say, but both hero, or all four heroes kind of getting low for the moment. Ricky does have a salve, though.
I think they want to try to... Okay, never mind. I thought they were trying to, like, surprise snipe a shockwave plus blink strike to finish up a kill.
Skem? Yeah, I was saying, you're sticking around way too long. The 2 blink strikes were up, plus the Tricks of the Trade. You can't play against this hero at 0 HP. So that is first blood for Crit. That will mean they can get the Lotus as well, as you can no longer contest without the Zeus. That's a big win for this offlane.
Zeus and Morphling both love to have the early Lotus as well, so
yeah,
pretty great timing to get that kill. In the bottom lane, where do they go to? Looks like Hellscream has it. Oh, the point I wanted to make. So Enchantress can move around pretty early. It's just, can your carry be left alone? Skitter on the Lifestealer will be perfectly fine on his own once you give him a couple levels. And I think that's really helpful when you have a hero like Ricky, who he's going to be annoying, but his early game can be weak. So when you can get an Enchantress and all her creeps active early on to help Ricky maybe find some kills or pressure early towers, I think that goes a long way to set him up for a good game.
I am curious to see if Shopify is going to be able to start recovering these lanes, because right now your mid lane Invoker should start pulling ahead now that the levels have kind of caught up. Like Maureen had a really good start. This offlane for Pakaz is not going to get easier, I think, and that's where things kind of worry me a little bit. And top lane. Looks they're getting aggressive here onto Yamato once again. Now Zeus is coming up here. And Amar is CSing a little bit better. He was struggling, I think, the most at one point, but we'll see how long I think this Morphling decides to sit in this lane. He's likely to just go for a Vlad's and kind of jungle lane over and over, you know?
Yeah, it's not the easiest to be kicked out of here by just the Magnus, but the smoke screen is what could maybe add a little bit more threat, where it's like, oh, I got caught off guard, now I can't waveform or attribute shift, so I just die. Yeah. For now, though, until Crit hits level 4, you are fine to just be in the lane. And as long as you're under tower, I think you're also okay. Maybe you like have enough sentries in the lane as well, so you, or sorry, Ricky's not even 6 yet, so actually, who cares?
True. Malreen's itemization for the mid lane actually works out really well. He's picked up just some casual armor against the Invoker, which will reduce just so much of the physical damage output that he has. Combine that with just the river buff, and he's set. Now a big rotation in mid, both supports. Good Deafening Blast and a really good cogs here. That Cold Snap's gonna heal up this Invoker a decent amount. Now a Crit will lose his life in the process. Malreen should be okay. Sunstrike not gonna connect, off the mark there from the Invoker. Is this Quas Exhort?
He has 1 point in Exhort, so it's 3, 2, and 1.
Ooh, that's a haste on Skem. Does he have Heavenly Jump? Okay. No
2
way.
seconds.
He doesn't do it. Oh my God, he baits himself. There's
Had it
no
up
way
in
you give up
1
that death.
second. I think caught off guard by the size of slithering crush a bit there.
I mean,
guess he just walked back in.
ran
Maybe he didn't
in.
come back.
There's just no need. Skem some really unfortunate deaths this game. Not only the first blood to the Ricky, but now a second one to the Slardar. Both, I think, avoidable.
Another dive now.
He's got the rage going. Hellscream should be fine once the battery assault can connect, and yeah, he'll make his way out. Snake King trying to tank the tower. Now Skitter, they really want this catapult to stay alive, and it will now as the creep wave crashes in. Skem rotating on in to maybe offer some support here. The Enchantress would be a great find. Howl is out. And now that they see the Zeus, they will trap the Enchantress inside the cogs. Good wraparound from Hellscream. They will punish the aggression here from Falcons.
Well, Reen's actually TP'd in here. Should be able to just run in to get Pakaz.
That's a freebie. So this is max crush. Yeah, 4-point crush by 7. This is what you pretty much always want to do on Slardar. The reason being is you just get to the shard at the 15-minute mark immediately, and then suddenly you can one-shot creep waves. So it is a very, very big power timing.
Yeah, he's got the Soul Ring preemptively to just spam crush to farm. I mean, it's good even before you have the shard, but like you said, once you have the shard, your farm speed goes up a lot.
Yeah.
He's actually thinking about continuing to play aggressive. He knows Pakaz.
I mean, he's gonna find Pakaz. He's dead. It's like there's no way out of this.
So much damage.
The slow from crush is insane. Max crush is very good.
All right, can he get out of here? Because he actually doesn't have a TP, and he has now run into Hellscream.
I don't think so.
Looking pretty dead.
I mean,
Hellscream first, though.
Yeah, Hellscream, if he died, would be a really nice grab, but that kill going to Yopaj is quite nice. It did make space for them to get the bottom tower. You still did kill Pakaz, so it's probably a worthwhile trade, honestly, for Malreen. I don't think he really cares all that much.
I think so. I can't say I'm super familiar with, like, the mindset of a mid Slardar, you know, whether you feel okay trading your life for that stuff. But it seems all right for the amount of movement it took from Shopify to clean that kill on their own triangle. And now using that space to get the Morphling.
He did not expect the rotation in from Malreen. There's going to be another jump here. Hellscream on the backside should go down to Malreen as they try to finish off Amar first, but now you're surrounded. Nice deafening blast. The mischance, is it enough to keep him alive? No, it is not, but Yopaj in so much trouble as he just gets dove down, finished off by the Ricky. Skitter gets himself a kill onto Skem. 4 heroes dead on Shopify as this game is falling apart and quickly.
And Voker with the Wraith Bands, you know, has got some extra armor, so he lives a bit more, but he's just so slow. You just can't get away from Ricky and Slardar. Cheeky Fortify to buy a bit more time here. Right now, so Morphling is doing okay, but your offlane Lycan. So we were earlier saying, okay, how do you deal with Alpha Wolves? One of the ways is to punish Lycan in the early game. And so then the timing of the Alpha Wolves just isn't as strong, because by the time the Alpha Wolves are level 5, level 6, the supports can deal with it. They'll find Enchantress, get something going for them.
Very much needed, but he also almost solo killed the mid tower with a troll summoner, and it still dies. So I think you're perfectly okay with that. Another kill on the top side. Yamato's like, all right, I'm going to take Slardar. I'm tired of this. Throws the crush out. We'll try and chase down Skitter, looking for the bash potentially. Will he find it though? Skitter trapped inside the cogs, but just pops the rage, walks away. Yopaj. Dude, Crit is level 7. That is wild. He's been part of so many kills. And he's almost to his
2, 1, and
defusal.
4.
This is terrifying for the side of Shopify. That defusal is going to hurt them so much.
Anyone working on a 4-staff? Hellscream has one queued up, but it is very, very far away.
Yeah, I feel like Zeus has to rush 4-staff. It literally has to be his first item.
He's getting the arcane boots first, which I think is reasonable. But then, yeah, I think you gotta do the 4-staff. The thing is, at this rate, it's going to be so slow. You could probably finish Diffusal and then the Shard on Ricky, which is already good for the negative armor, but not being able to use abilities and items on teammates, also very problematic.
Yeah. The bottom lane here, they are looking for their opening, and it's going to be Pakaz and the Lycan. Ricky jumps in, gets the find, trapped inside of that smoke screen, and just 2-tapped by Maureen.
The downside,
Top lane, they're
we were
looking
saying
for
in the draft.
Skitter, but they're not going to get him. Go ahead.
Yeah, in the draft, we were saying, you know, Lycan's good, but you usually see it later in the draft because you want to know it's going to get through the laning stage and the Wolves are going to be able to do something. I say the Alpha Wolves are fine this game, but they punished him in the lane with this Enchantress and Lifestealer pick. And because of that, he's just in full recovery mode. He's not the one terrorizing you with the wolves. You're chasing him into his triangle, into his jungle. And sure, he's got the Midas, but he's just off the map, like during all of these plays going on right now.
Wow. It's just not even close. The Enchantress not even threatened at all. Skem now in trouble. And 2 more kills into the side of Falcons, and Shopify, your damage problems are showing. The Ricky is doing more damage than the Invoker at this point.
To be fair, he has the Corrosive Haze and Empower on his side. He gets a little extra help in doing the damage, but yeah, that's a bad spot to be in. Yopaj feels like he has to go for the Manta to remove Corrosive Haze. But honestly, like once you get the Shard on Slardar, it's not that hard to reapply between having your ultimate and then applying it with Slithering Crush.
It's that plus the Diffusal from the Ricky, though, now that it's pretty much done.
That's fair.
Like, if he can't get out of Smokescreen, his game is non-existent. So it's at least a dispel if he saves for the if he saves for the Diffusal, he can at least like get outside of Smokescreen and like Deafening Blast or Tornado and maybe get some distance away. But the item progression on Shopify is so slow right now.
They're being squeezed on the map right now. Like, Morphling did okay in the laning stage, but because the Lycan struggled, Lycan has to fall back to very defensive farm. And that's actually where Morphling wants to be right now. So we see them kind of having a moment of confusion, like, where do we go? Because continued to be hunted back here. They know this is like the only place he can be.
He even scans himself, but there's an Invis rune on Maureen and the Ricky walking right into him at that moment. So very unfortunate. Sunstrike connects. They do see crit, but can they actually find anything? Maureen would be a great kill, but I don't think you have the damage. And instead, crit just kills the Zeus on the back lines. Hellscream's going to be next. Both supports are dead. It really feels like Shopify has no idea how to deal with this game right now.
I think this is a lineup that had to do well in the lanes, and that's always a tough ask versus a team like Falcons. I'm trying to imagine where it turns around. I guess it's Alpha Wolves, right? You need to get to the point where they're really strong. He's at level 9. When you're at level 11, they'll be at their max, but I mean, he's the same level as Ricky, you know? And that's the missed timing a bit when you have such a rough start.
And my next point, who does he kill? Name one hero on Falcons that actually is threatened by Alpha Wolves this game. Right? That's the problem with the overall first pick Lycan. They picked 2 supports that are not susceptible to the Wolves at all. One's permanently invisible. The other has untouchable. And then you have 3 super tanky strength heroes with mobility. I don't think it's going to matter. I think the Lycan has no game. They're going to find Amar here on the top side, and this will be a nice kill, assuming they can finish it up, and they do. Goes to Hellscream.
I will say, if Ricky has used his spells and you have vision on him, he can be killed by the wolves. He is not that tanky, but that's just a lot, right? Like Ricky being invis gets to choose when he goes in or out. So if you see wolves in the area, you know, you don't do it. Or you go in, you see the wolves, you're like, well, it's okay. I have 2 blink strikes. I have smoke screen. I have tricks of the trade. Odds are I have one of those abilities to save my life.
Yeah.
And buy enough time for Cloak and Dagger to come back off cooldown. So yeah, it's not easy. It's at least doable if you're ahead, but
yeah,
when you're now 5K behind at 17 minutes, yeah, this is looking pretty tough. They're just gonna have to play the delay game.
Exactly. It's not an insurmountable amount of gold. They do have a Morphling who is definitely the best scaling carry in this game. We talked about in the draft, it does check pretty much every box that they needed, but you're playing up against a really farmed Tri-Core from Falcons, and, you know, Snake King typically transitions as a core from the Enchantress, and you have a Ricky as the 4 position, so it's going to be difficult to find the right fights. On they jump onto the high ground, they're going to find Scam. Skewers right back into the hands of Malrine. A quick crush to kill him now. Invoker, I don't know how he got out of that one.
Crit just barely missed him with the smoke. Oh, courier kill. There's chainmail on that. It's a bit of a problem.
Crit. Again, looking for more.
All right. Instant ult will let Crit know that there's a sentry there. At least he gets away, but yeah, it doesn't feel good to have to use the ult that way.
I mean, Pakaz and Yopaj are kind of recovering, right? They're somewhat on par with Amar. Oh, they're going to find a Clockwork here in the mid lane. Skitter comes in as well. Nice tornado, EMP, but Hellscream's dead. And of course, both these heroes can easily dodge that EMP. Yamato with a Manta to get away from Malrine for the moment. Will be able to waveform to safety, but there's your Infest delivery. Get Skitter right on top of that Zeus. They get themselves both supports. Now looking for more. The blink to RP from Amar. He is Agi shifting for the moment. Another really nice tornado stuck inside of that smoke screen. No escape this time. They get the big target. A really good find from Amar.
I have no force staffs. As soon as someone is slowed in smoke screen, you're done. Starting with the Clockwork here, can't really use any spells until the very end. They're, you know, a bit too late. Then they keep going because they have such good chase potential. You know, Yamato waveforms out for a moment. I don't know where did he even get spotted? Is it this ward on the cliff? No, that's their ward.
No, it's just Amar guessing.
Just Amar sees it.
Yeah, and
oh, they have a ward top. They might have seen him in that area.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. There's a ward on the left side. So
either way,
they
great
see
catch.
him. Yeah, I don't think he saw, like, the second he blinks in for the RP is when the Agimorph came out, so it was kind of perfect timing. Amar here gonna get found. Sunstrike off the mark, but Hellscream will still find the kill. Yeah, he was like still 10 seconds away from his Manta being off cooldown, so it was just a really good grab. Tormentor's up here. Yopaj sitting invis. They will know he's there, of course, as the Tormentor reveals him.
Pretty low. He's got 40 seconds on the Aegis if they really want to push this. But I think without Amar, you know you're in the lead. It's great to steal the Tormentor, but if you just trade Tormentors, it's fine, rather than risk losing a fight on the enemy's half of the map.
All right. The minus, I mean, it's paying off for Pakaz. He's getting there. Slowly but surely, he's getting there. I don't know if he's going to catch Malrine or Skitter anytime soon, but he's finally passed Amar. Tormentor still an option. The Aegis expires. They're going to go ahead and try and just burn burst it down. It goes to crit. Big tornado. EMP deafening blast connects. Ricky's out of mana. Skitter pops the rage to dodge a lot of this out, but that means that rage is going to be off cooldown, and in comes Yamato. Infest blink away. Will get him to safety, but they've left Malrine. Does he get denied? No. Almost, actually. That would have been real rough. Snake King TP's out to safety. Really, really good heads up there to infest the Ricky and just double blink strike out. Very good stuff.
I think we're securing the shard. That is worth it. It's a little painful to lose Malrine, but overall, you now get 2 shards to grow your lead. It's actually really good for both crit and enchant. Oh, it actually goes to
my god. That's so good, actually.
Yeah, that one's good too.
I don't think you care all that much about Snake King Shard. Like, he can buy it, but the Ricky Shard is the one you really wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, getting crits is the most important part. Now, I will say for Shopify, Zeus, one of the best supports to sit back safely and just blast out creep waves. And then the Lightning Bolt helps you maintain vision, where sometimes you're losing and you just at completely dark map, you know, that's really rough. At least having Lightning Bolt to help you try to scout out the enemies gives you something to play around.
A blind hook shot there to try and find an opening, maybe catching Malrine here on the side. Put him on, huge RP onto 2. Can they burst the Morphling? They can. Yopaj in trouble as well. Hellscreen trying to TP out. Yopaj will not be as lucky. That is a disaster. They have so much vision down here on Shopify as well. And they're the ones that get caught out.
Yeah, a little bit surprising on that. I guess those wards just went down. So maybe just not reacting fast enough as you get that information. I guess you also are kind of slow. Well, they did see it. They tried to go in on, was it Slardar or Magnus?
Yeah, they tried to get on top of the initial target.
Yeah.
And then Amar just gets a 2-hero RP.
I'm a little surprised on that.
Oh. Crit. Does he know on Hellscream? He does not, and that gives them all the vision they need to disengage. Hook shot this time will connect onto Snake King. The minus armor might be enough, but no. The Infest to save him. Another smokescreen from Crit. They just back away. Both support ultimates down. They will try and grab themselves the tier 1 tower. But the Manta, it's not enough. The secondary slow from that shockwave holds him in place. Because now has to pop that shapeshift and hightail it out of here. Now Zeus, he TP's out next to the Ricky. Yeah, he Manta's off the defusal and then just gets caught from the Magnus slow.
Yeah, they have a lot of tools to try to keep you in the cloud, and once you're in the cloud, you're screwed. They are working on a Hurricane Pike on Morphling. Invoker, I think, is doing the same. So they'll slowly have some tools to at least help themselves, can no longer help teammates. But by the time you get it, you're gonna be like 15k down, which means you still might die very shortly after having to use all your defensive items just to get out of the smoke screen.
It's going to be a very difficult avenue for Shopify to get back into this game. I mean, the net worth lead just continuing to increase from Falcons. Seemingly no answer for Skitter on this lifestealer at the moment. Or Malrine, and he has an Aghanim Scepter and 70 gold, so he might just be selling an item here. Maybe just sell the Windlace, buy the Ags.
I mean, they have to do so much itemizing just to deal with the Ricky. You can't even begin to start itemizing versus some of these other cores.
Look at the wards from Falcons on the map right now. So much vision dedicated to the top side as they know the Roshan's going to be spawning up here. They've got one on the kind of medium hard camp area, one inside the base, and then one outside the Roche spawn. Giving them all the info they need on where Shopify could be. It's not a good sign when your Morphling gets passed by the Lycan. I mean, Lycan being able to farm is really important, but your Morph should be near the top of the net worth. And he has really struggled this game thanks to that smoke screen. And they will get to work on the Roshan. They know that this is happening, but not willing to respond. Now, meanwhile, Amar mid lane under the cover of an Invis rune might find Yopaj, and he will. Just this. Oh, he dodges the RP, but I don't think he gets out of it. I mean, a nice play from Yopaj, but doesn't end up mattering. They bring the numbers. Aegis already claimed into the hands of Skitter. There'll be Roche banner as well.
That was still sick. I don't care if it dies.
Has a full AC now on this Lifestealer. Good luck, man.
Yeah, it's time for some NA math. How much negative armor are we at here? 5 from Smokescreen.
20
15
from
Corrosive Haze. Yeah, 20 once he hits 18.
Yeah.
Which
Snake
is
King
very close.
gets grabbed in the bottom lane. That's not bad. And they will drop the puddle top side, get to work on the tower. The fort comes out, but counter fort here will delay this. Tornado to clear the wave. Yeah, they're still going to get the tier 3. They do get the tier 2 bottom, and maybe Pakaz stays there to split push. It's hard to say. Now they're TPing everybody back in. There's going to be the shockwave skewer. They've grabbed Hellscream very easily, and they will disengage now. They see the rest of Shopify here in the base. They still have not scouted this ward sitting on their high ground.
Back.
There it is. That ward has been there for so long. Banner gets dropped. Will help protect the creep wave for the moment. That range barrier just dies so fast. Skitter, seemingly unbothered. Yamato will get the waveform away here. EMP does not connect. So we'll give the moment to break the banner, though. God, they have to be so careful on Shopify.
I think Falcons will be content with that. You open up top. Something Shopify has going for them is that the Lycan shard keeps the lanes pushing out. So now that you have one barracks top, it will push in, I think. I'm pretty sure that'll balance out the wolf that occasionally goes up there. We'll see if they want to commit further. They actually are still staying in the area.
They're trying to get a smoke wraparound, hoping to maybe find one of these heroes straggling behind, but Falcons have to know something's going on. They're going to run right into Snake King. I mean, not the best target, but if you could burst him at the beginning, it wouldn't be too bad. The Orchids caught the Ricky. Pakaz trying to chase him down, but he doesn't have the catch. Skitter trying to make his way with the Infest will be able to escape, and the only hero that's dead is this Clockwork. Yamato standing his ground here, needs to get away, but there's the RP. It was ready and waiting. The meatball can't help him. Skewer out from Amar. Will give them all they need, and Skem will be the next to die. That is likely the game. No Morphling for 40 seconds. Falcons still on the enemy high ground. Should get this lane of barracks for free.
Buy some time. The tier 2 is still up bottom, so you can't get the complete megas like we saw in the last game. But 2 barracks is certainly a great place to be versus this annoying Zeus Invoker high ground.
They're just gonna fake back.
Snipes Skitter with snipes the Aegis.
Yeah, but you know,
distracted doing so.
Yeah, he is sniped in the process. Hellscream gonna force staff and try to run, but yeah, there's just no shot. You're level 19 on Maureen, like you said. The amount of minus armor just from Corrosive Haze alone, it's too much.
I think when everything comes into play, I think it's a clean negative 30 armor.
That's nice.
Looks like a very, very safe play. They're going to back out. You know, thinking of the group stage as a whole, if Falcons secures this 2-0, that should be moving on to the next stage. Of course, you could win more, get a better standing and all that, but safe approach, just make sure you're into the next stage. I can appreciate that. Because Shopify's lineup, actually, in the same way last game, we saw a very explosive, base is just gone. you have 3 right-clicking cores on Shopify. So if you somehow throw and they make it to your base, you could lose a lot of building at once. So just take the slow steps to secure this game, secure yourself, the second group stage.
Yeah, if Shopify gets 2-0'd here, their only hope is that 9 Pandas beats Falcons 2-0, which not likely based on the current standings, you know?
Yeah.
We're going to see Shapeshift come out. They have some vision here. Maybe snaking would be fine, but you really need a bigger kill. Malrine standing inside his puddle. Know that he's way too tanky for them to deal with. And now Hellscream just getting ran down, killed by the wolf, actually, that's stolen by Snaking. Yamato's hiding in this tree line, trying to find some opening. Falcons just don't care. They're like, yeah, do whatever you want. We're just going to walk at your base.
We have enough creeps. We can keep going.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is a weird position. You might see this when Roche is up. Roche is still down for at least 2 more minutes. You gotta get back to your own base. Hellscream TP'd out to rejoin his team. You have to run back in, and by that point, you might have been megged already.
They have no TPs on anybody. They all TP top, and then yeah,
Crit's standing in the back to break this.
Mega creeps. EMP's gonna hit Malrine, but yeah, here's the backside of the fight. Pakaz just dead before the fight even breaks out. Now Hellscream hook shots in, tried to offer some support. Yopaj doesn't do any damage. It's really just the Morphling gets caught on that Agi shift, dies once again. That's gonna be the GG. There's no way Shopify can hold this one up. And yeah, a full team wipe. Seemingly not breaking a sweat here on Falcons, all starting with the first blood for Crit on the Ricky.